Hi lovelies, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovely, so I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where black people are actually out here to talk about how they are so tired, hearing people who does not actually know what it means to be black to actually tell them what to do. Like, this sister put up this question that got a lot of black people, coming together to speak on this said topic. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's
This is for black people, black liberals, black leftists, black progressives, black radicals is black. Okay, I just want to pose a question. Y'all really think that it's okay for white people, white leftists, to call out black people on identity politics? And an identity they don't have? Do you really think it's okay for white leftists to talk about all skin folk ain't kin folk when they not even the skin folk? They not even the skin folk. When their skin folk are the reason. Their skin folk are the reason, but because they have the right theory and idea, they have ideas that we agree with, you agree with, they can start talking to skin folk like they kin folk when they not even skin folk. I want to bring, is it possible that some of us allow what white people who are leftist, progressive, and radical and reading the right books, we allow them to do these things because maybe we believe in the white savior complex a little bit too much, and that's white supremacy and anti-blackness coming up internalized inside of us? Is it internalized anti-blackness that we can't check our own people? Even if our people need to be checked, maybe they are doing a little identity politics, maybe they aren't being kinfolk right now, but we can't trust that we can do that. Like we haven't already been doing that. Like the white leftists didn't get that from the black scholars who were already doing that. And then when they get called out for that, right, and we say, hey, that's a little anti-black, maybe you shouldn't be talking to black people like that, you want to defend that instead of letting them get their lashes. What does that sound like?
But if they're right, then yes. And that has nothing to do with the white leftists and whatever the fuck they're saying, and everything to do with my trust and my own level of discernment. Like a lot of y'all be like, listen to black people, and y'all tend to forget that black people, the first black person they're going to listen to is themselves. I'm listening to me first before I listen to you or anybody else. Does it make sense to me? Am I catching it? Right? Am I catching it? Is it weird? And then I go back out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like the white leftist is like the very first voice that I'm going to attach to. By the time I get to the white leftist that is agreeing with me, I already got like 30 other black people where I'm just like, okay, cool. We on the right track. And I'm not gonna lie to you, fam. This question has very strong but you're black first vibes, and I just can't I can't rock with that shit. I'm sorry. I have been too black, too queer, and too Haitian for too fucking long to rest anything on but I'm black first. If I gotta do that with y'all, I gotta do it with the hoteps, and I refuse. I'm not doing that shit. Like, come on fam, just a couple of weeks ago we had a whole slew of black people going anywhere and everywhere, some of them on national television, trying to propagate this xenophobic and white supremacist ass stereotype about Haitian migrants eating people's pets. I know for a fact that not all of them are Trump supporters. I know for a fact that a lot of them are going to vote for Kamala Harris come November 5th. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. And if a white leftist were to pop up and just regurgitate some shit that I have myself already said, I'm not picking the ADOS motherfucker over my own words that just so happen to be repeated by some white person. That's just not happening. And fam, it's a very wild experience to have, okay? Because, like, it's like, damn. some of these white people really are listening to us. Some of these white people really are trying. And emphasis on some, okay? Emphasis on some. I can only count on like one hand the amount of white leftists I've seen actually listen to black leftists. Okay? They're not listening to y'all. I hope that's clear. You're not the black people that they're listening to. They're listening to niggas like me, right? And only on one hand have I seen them hear those things, hear those views, hear those perspectives, internalize them in addition to their theory, and turn that into praxis externally. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And when it does, it's kind of just like, it would be nonsensical of me to come on this app and argue down points I have made myself. It would be wild. That would be wild. As much cash money shit I be talking on all three of my accounts, for me to just come out of nowhere just because they're talking to some black person and be like, no, actually that's wrong. When I know for a fact 15 minutes from now, I'm gonna say the exact same thing. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, fam. I'm sorry. And I really think that y'all are ignoring the unfortunate dynamic that black radicals just have to have when it comes to dealing with white leftists. Because y'all niggas don't listen to us. You don't listen to us at all. I guarantee you that there were at least 15 black people on this app alone that said exactly what Madeline said. Exactly. And they probably said that shit a year and a half ago. And y'all niggas didn't hear nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Because black radical thought and political analysis can only be heard if it comes out of a white mouth. That's the reality of the world that we live in. And the trade-off for that shit to make it outside of the choir that we're preaching to, those white leftists have to deal with all of the backlash that comes with saying that shit out loud. It's unfortunate, but that's the dynamic. And honestly, that's why you have so many black radicals just sitting back and being like, damn, it sure is unfortunate to witness what y'all are doing to these white people. But say levy, you know, because like in 15 minutes, there's gonna be another white leftist regurgitating something that one of the black radicals on this app said 2.5 years ago. And we're gonna spend another weekend of y'all being mad at them for saying this shit. So it's like, I don't know what you want me to say. See y'all same time next week.
This is anti-intellectual identity reductionism, but more importantly, this is liberalism. What do y'all want the 0.0000001% of white people who have actually done the reading you black liberals posture about to do? Because for me, knowing better is doing better. And the entire point of identifying something as identity politics is to go, hey, you have reduced these people's issues down to their identity so much, we are no longer talking about systemic solutions to the systemic issues at hand. Saying that we're waiting for a white savior because we want white people to finally do the work is so disingenuous.
First of all, who are you talking to like that? Who are you talking to with that abrasion? Y'all talk on here like you can't run up in people and you can't talk face to face, and it gives you a little more gumption. So I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need us to bring it down because I didn't come like that. You're not gonna come like that at me. First of all, I want white people in general, which includes white leftists. The leftists don't make them not white, to know when to stay the fuck in their lane. Know what the lane is and know when to stay in it, which should be in the readings that we're all doing, right? Right? Because it's not just about whiteness. When I'm talking about identity politics and skin folk not being kinfolk being called out, I'm talking about people being outside of a group, trying to call people out in a group where they don't even experience that oppression. And I find that fucking bonkers. I didn't say it's not something to be called out, right? And if you actually fucking knew me, you would know that I have talked about it, even though your little snarky little caption said that OP doesn't even address it or some shocker. I have. The larger issue I'm talking about is white people having the audacity to tell black people what they're seeing isn't racism, or how someone said something wasn't racist, or how someone addressed them wasn't racist. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. And if you strictly believe that white people, white leftists specifically, because they read a couple books, can tell black people what you're seeing, there's no racism at all in this context. No, not at all. We are vehemently going to disagree. From the bachelors and the masters and the research and the readings and the organizing and the protesting, I've also learned that I need to shut the fuck up sometimes too. It don't matter how much I fucking know. If a dark-skinned black man got on here talking about something and maybe needed to be corrected on whatever the issue was, and in the correction someone was being colorist and she clocked it, I would never fix my Fenty medium ass to tell her, you're not dealing with colorism. If a trans woman was like, hey, yo, I'm kind of experiencing a little transphobia, or the way that you're going about this is a little transphobic, I would never fix my cisgender ass to say, no, girl, that's not what's happening. The girl is over here talking about texturism in the black community. All right, my job is not to tell the type 4, 4C girlies about texturism. My job is to make sure the 3B brigade back here with me shuts the hell up and make sure they ain't perpetuating texturism in the natural hair community. My positionality has to be included in my praxis. It has to be included in my call out. It has to be included in my call in. And this has been something that I have had to actually learn. It's been some growth. It's been some shit I've seen people do on here. Y'all be thinking that just because you might know something, you are the person to deliver that fucking message. And maybe y'all ain't got popped in the mouth or called out enough. I don't know. But sometimes you are not the person to deliver that message. So if a black person is wrong, if a black person is identifying with identity politics too much to where they're not worried about any other issues, that is wrong. We have said this. And if them and other black people clock that a white person correcting them has a little bit too much dip on their chip and there's a little bit of anti-blackness and gaslighting coming through, we have a right to clock that. So before a white leftist fixes their lips to tell a black person they're not experiencing racism or microaggressions or macroaggressions, or you care too much about black issues over this, they need to make sure that their brethren ain't racist, that their brethren ain't perpetuating macroaggressions, that their brethren is worried about black issues. It's giving paternalism. It's giving manifest destiny. It's giving white savior. It is. That is a pillar of white supremacy. It ain't just white leftists do. White people, white conservatives do that. Why wouldn't it trickle down if that is an aspect of whiteness and white supremacy? Why wouldn't it trickle down to other spaces? Come on, y'all.
I like the white leftist is like the very first voice that I'm going to attach to. By the time I get to the white leftist that is agreeing with me, I already got like 30 other black people where I'm just like, okay, cool. We on the right track.
So to address Haven's video, you know, I can fix my tone now because like there was respect. There's respect here. I hear the points about by the time we get to the white person who's saying these things, there's already 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 black people already saying the same thing. And I agree, which is why I said in another video, I want to hear it from those black people because I know behind a white leftist, there's 50 black people saying the same exact thing. Let these people, let me, let her, let them hear it from them. Because to me, the likelihood of anti-blackness spewing out from them is way lower than the white leftist who has lived their whole life as a white person and being indoctrinated with white privilege and just having spots that they are not going to be able to see when that white privilege is fully on the surface. How are you going to tell somebody that their skin folk ain't being kinfolk when you're not even the skin folk? You don't even know you can't look at politics and social issues through our lens because you don't have the lens. You ain't got the glasses. Your eyesight damn near perfect. And to the point where people sometimes don't listen until a white face says it. So you agree. There is a doubt that black people can successfully call in each other about these issues and that we may need to hear it from a white person. I don't believe that. White people ain't never liberated black people. White people have never liberated black. How is the group that has oppressed us, right, built the system to oppress us, be the ones to liberate us? Now, I ain't saying black people aren't difficult. You've known the shit I've dealt with on this app from different intersections within the black community. I ain't saying black people aren't difficult. I'm not saying we can't leave some folks behind. I ain't saying that all skin folk are kinfolk because they not. I'm saying that certain call-ins should be for us, reserved for us. And one of those to me is the discussion on whether or not a black person was experiencing racism. I think a white person needs to stay in their fucking lane because how would you know? Which is why I'm having the conversation with black folks. Right? This has opened up the door for a lot of non-black people to be talking crazy in the comments. And I'm letting you know I'm not addressing any of you. I'm not, because this is a B&B conversation. Black and black. These are all things I've had to look in with myself, like the examples I gave earlier, and that I've been checked on. And in my questions of Christina, am I so concerned with being right, being knowledgeable, knowing this theory, knowing the facts, versus being able to connect with people and understand them and get them to see what I'm talking about? Or get them to actually agree? Do I always have to be the messenger? Why? What part of my ego is telling me? What part of some of my privileges are telling me I always have to be the messenger? Maybe that's a question that a lot of people need to fucking ask themselves. Maybe I don't need to talk. Maybe I need to shut the fuck up every once in a while. Okay? And a part of me thinks it's the fact that people talk behind a screen. Again, we're not getting popped in the mouth or clocked enough. It's not happening. The screen is emboldening a lot of y'all like, oh boy, in the beginning. Be real emboldened. That's why he will be blocked after this. But yeah, I will not ever in the near future believe that white leftists have a right to tell black folks what they're experiencing is or isn't racism in the midst of them being called out for stuff, because they can't call them in. And if you believe that, we are simply agreeing to disagree, and it is what it is.
Okay, like, yes, people of privilege do not have the space to tell people who are suffering underneath that privilege whether or not that suffering exists. I agree. We are in accordance, right? But to be honest and transparent, that is not the framing that I took from your question. So my response to you is not in regards to that, right? Like when I say that black radical thought is not heard unless it comes out of a white mouth, that's not in regards to who can check who can call in who, or any of that. That's not in regards to that, right? And fam, to keep it a stack, I took it to heart when you said that it feels like I'm just focusing on one thing and it feels like you're being gaslit. Because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm really just trying to be 100% honest with you so that you know who you are parasocially in community with on fucking TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you an example of context that was provided to me, and I want to give you my genuine reaction to it, or my genuine opinion on it. And I'm not going to say anybody's names, because to me, it's not about the people, it's about the behavior. And also, I've said both of them motherfuckers' names enough. We not even fucking. I should not be saying either of your names this fucking much. Okay? Just keeping it honest, okay? At some point in the conversation, it was said, I don't give a fuck about Democrats. Fuck them. They're evil. Right? Paraphrasing, of course. And the response to that was, well, most black women vote Democrat. So are they evil too? Now, fam, if y'all were to have asked me that question, I would have dead ass said, probably. Fucking probably. You know what I'm saying? I understand that most black people in general are voting for this fucking party out of duress. But I also accept the reality that a lot of these motherfuckers are voting for this party because they are fucking evil. I understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been fuck black Democrats since 2007 for me. I don't fuck with them. I have the same level of ire and disdain towards black Democrats as I do black Republicans. To me, the only difference between these two groups is that the black Republicans are smart enough to know how to get more money out of these white people. That is it. So again, I cannot, in good conscience, come out here and talk down points that I would have made or said even more extremely. I just can't. I want this conversation to happen because I feel like we need to know who we're in community with. I don't fuck with black Democrats. And I know a lot of my mutuals are gonna be voting for them motherfuckers. And it breaks my fucking heart. It breaks my heart. But I am in community with you because I value you more than that vote. Our mutuals because I value you beyond what you're doing with that fuck ass party. It feels a lot like y'all are just in an abusive relationship and I just need to fall back and let y'all handle it. You will leave when you're ready. That's where I stand at this point. I can't make you. You know what I'm saying? And I won't make you. What I will do is just exist around you, appreciate what you bring to my life, and hopefully give you something of value that you can take. Because I also know that eventually a lot of our connections are going to end. I know that. We are not going to be mutuals forever. I don't know about like me and you or whatever, but like in general, there's a good chance that I'm not even going to be mutuals for long with the black radicals who followed me this week. To keep it a stack. But I at least want y'all to know, like, hey, this is where I stand. And it's not going to change. And I'm definitely not changing that tune because some white bitch said something like that. And as long as we are in agreement to that, and as long as we understand where we are and we're not trying to be malicious towards each other, then it's fucking Gucci. That's how I see things. That's my opinion on this whole entire situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? I have my own bias and agenda while I'm on this app, much like you guys do. I don't try to stand in the way of y'all shit. I hope you don't try to stand in the way of my shit. That's it. That's all I can ask of you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can ask of you. Because at the end of the day, I just got called a black bitch at 6 o'clock in the morning. Why the fuck am I doing this with y'all?
Like, seriously, lovelies, it's actually so tiring, to often see people who do not know what it means to be someone that looks like me, often come out to tell people that looks like me of the way they feel that they should react to something, or they should, talk about something, without being in the shoes of this said person you are out here castigating on how they react to things, differently. Like, I have to actually use a video I stitched sometime, I think 2 days ago, about this young black teen who decided that he was just going to take a stroll, with the hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton that took place, with the power outrage and all of that. He decided that, okay, he was going to go outside, make a phone call and all of that, and he was just busy doing his thing. But he decided that, people decided to follow him. He was followed by some pan-colored people. Because of what? Because they feel that he looks like, he's the kind of people that looks like me, who they never expected that they can find him in the said neighborhood. They followed this guy. Four of them, they followed this guy, harassing him, asking him questions of why was he supposed to be there. His kind of people are not supposed to be there. They are supposed to be in one ghetto, He was just busy minding his own business. And they decided that they were going to harass him, which actually took to the whole of, internet. People were reacting to it. And that is one of the that is one of the things that you have to face as someone that looks like me. And when you decide to react, or decide to call people out, or decide to some people tend to why are you reacting this way? And there are a lot of people who actually, comes out to talk about how, oh no, I think black people are just taking something too seriously. You are not someone that looks like me, so you wouldn't know how or what it means to be someone that actually looks like me. You cannot be complaining and trying to castigate someone for expressing his or herself if you're not wearing the shoe that person is wearing. You can't be dictating to someone of what to do. Like, let me just use this election thing that is, as an example. A lot of people are like, okay, vote for this person, vote for this person. Black people should do this, black people should do that. Like, you have no, right to tell black people what they want or what they don't want to do, because them themselves, they know exactly what they are going through being someone that looks like me. And they are also looking for everything possible to actually, make life easier and safe for them. Because you know what? The system already has, some kind of negative thing about people that look just like me. Seriously, and this is just the truth. Anyone that's coming, some of this, try to come and like this lady that I stitched her video, trying to oh my God, black people actually need to come together. Like, you people should just stop with all of these races and divide. Nobody is divided with anybody. It's actually the way at which the system is, and these people are deciding to be in a safe place. They are decided to create their own safe places. You cannot be a pan-colored person coming out to castigate black people or people that looks like me, telling them that, oh my God, you guys complain too much, you have to come together. Let's do this. Let's vote for this. Let's vote for that person. But you yourself, you're a pan-colored person, no? You are a pan-colored person. You are not wearing a black clothes, you know? So, what makes you think that the way at which the system treats you will actually be the same way at which it treats the other person? You know? And there is this thing again that, you know, sometimes some people bring up some kind of things to keep black people divided. It's happening, and it's still happening even in this election and all of that. But that doesn't mean that these said black people or people that looks like me does not really know what they want for themselves. They are the ones that is wearing the shoes. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly, you know, what it feels to be someone that wears my this thing. So you don't even have that to tell them what and what not to do. You know, a lot of people will just, you know, come up stage, you know, do so many things and all of that. Just look at what really happened with this lady that was, you know, unalive by a cop and all of that. And you wouldn't tell me that if this lady, Sonia Mercy, if she was a pan-colored person, that could have been the end of it. Like, I'm still, even today, still trying to like figure it out and how fast everything went. And you wouldn't tell me that if it was the other way around, things might actually end up that way. It wouldn't. This is one of the things that, you know, being someone that looks like me, you have to pay for it. And somebody that is not wearing your shoes, don't know what it means, we just come up and try to tell you things as if this person is facing the same predicament you are actually going through. Like, another thing I also want to chip is the fact that I think with all of the things that has been happening, you know, with the climate change, which people say that, okay, that has to do spiritually, with also with all of the revolutions, I think it's time for black people or people that looks like me to come together and not allow anything outside or something to be a means of divider. This is why sometimes, even in this channel, I try as much as I can to do something that keeps the community together. Like, you know, the only thing that is making these other people scared is the fact that they don't want the unity of people that looks like me, because the unity of people that looks like me will bring upon destruction to people that looks like the people that want to oppress the people that looks like me. This is why these people are often so scared if they see, you know, people that look like me coming together. They'll just try to bring one kind of narrative to break it apart, and they often use these influential people for it, you know. Anyway, lovelies, when I saw this video, I was like, it's actually a very good topic to talk about, to speak about, you know, to actually constantly remind us of who we are and what we have to go through, you know. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. If you've not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, and I will see you lovelies.
I've watched up to this extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.